Hello everyone, Savvy Sandy here from 5 Star Body Transformation. I hope you are all very well. I look quite dreary and tired. I'm really sorry. It's been a long day coaching, and this video is completely unscripted. I had no plans about doing a video today, but I was compelled to, and it was really after just come off a coaching call with one of my guys, one of my clients, who's been working with me for about 6 months. And he originally worked with me for 3 months and decided he wanted to work with me longer. So, as well as a client and a student, he's become a very good friend. And we just had a coaching call about what we would like to do for October. Goal setting, knowing where we want to be and putting some tangible things in place so that, it's accountable and we can get to where we want to get to. And upon having that conversation, he said something so interesting to me. He said to me, this whole experience has been so much more than a body transformation. And I think you should change your description on LinkedIn and on your business, right? And he said it's been a lot more than just a body transformation. It's changed so many aspects, nearly every aspect actually of his life, and for him personally, he's a family man, and he works hard at home as much as he works hard at work, right? And he's noticed massive changes. He feels and looks a lot better. His wife finds him attractive more, but she found him attractive anyway, but even more so now. He has a lot more energy for his son, for his wife. He feels he's setting a better example for both of them as well, being the person that he wants to be, a man of strong shoulders. At work, he works super hard and everyone sees it because he has got a lot more energy. And it's literally changed every aspect of his life. It's bled into every part that's valuable to him, personally, which for him is work and being at home and being a family man. These are really important qualities and values of his that he wanted to work towards, and having a body that would and having a health system in place that would help everything in his life. And I can only use another example, which is myself. When I decided to take my training seriously in martial arts, and I took it really seriously, it literally bled into every other part of my life. It changed every aspect of my life, and my health really became an asset to my life in every other way. And I kind of want to just go through some of the changes that you may experience, because it is just more than the physical. It's so much more than that, and I would like to use an example of a pyramid, right? And at the bottom is obviously a large foundation, a strong base, and as we go up, we get to this peak, right? The sharp bit right at the end, real kind of the kind of peak and the being sharp and kind of to a point. If we look at the bottom, we can say that that's the physical, right? That's the physical aspect. That's the physical part of your actual body. The vessel that you live in, the actual home that you live in every day. The quality of it is so important. You wouldn't have a unorganized home, or a house that's messy, the same, or a house that's not taken care of, and because it throws everything else off. The same goes with your body. Once we start taking care of the body and start getting in better shape, and really kind of taking away all the restrictions, adhesions in your body, the tight points, the bad posture, all these things that have previously inhibited your flow and stopped you from being the person you want to be and having the energy that you want. Once we start to improve the actual vessel itself, all other things start to change. If we start to look one level higher now from the physical body, we start to look at things on a chemical level. You're starting to change yourself on a chemical aspect, on a cellular level. We're starting to actually take the high level of cortisol that was being held in your body, that was leading to the gut, which was leading to poor posture, poor breathing patterns. Once the things chemically start to change, you start to think with a little more clarity. The cortisol starts to reduce. You start to yeah, change things on a chemical level, and that's not even included with nutrition. That's only fast forwarded with a good nutrition plan, but eating well and having the right foods that really give you the good fuel and change yourself on a cellular level, you know. And then it goes up even higher. We start to look at things on a more of an emotional level now. Okay, we start to go a little bit higher, and you know, you start to feel more calm. You start to be in much better control of yourself, and if you're in better control of yourself, you're in better control of the world around you. You've got control of this world inside of you. You have better control of the world outside of you. You know, you feel a lot more stable. You're more resilient. You're able to do things that you probably weren't able to do beforehand. Okay. And as we get to the peak now, we're looking at the peak of the pyramid. We're looking at the mental and the emotional aspect of things, right? Now, you know, your vessel, the body that you've coached or you've been shown the discovery of, you know, of you, where you've found out what you've able to accomplish by, you know, creating a much better body and healthier body and going through this whole process. This should be taken anywhere else in your life. You should be fit for fit for purpose, you know, fit for the reasons or the things that you value the most, you know, fit for the life you want to live, essentially. And that gets to the peak. That's right at the peak. But in order to get to that peak, you need everything else as well. You need to develop the body first of all. If you are struggling with health, you know, actually before I get to that bit, I always hear, and you hear it all the time, health is your wealth, right? And sometimes I think and feel that people might not necessarily understand that all the time. I think that's something that you, as well as hear, that's something that is visceral and that's something that's felt, and you have to go through the process to really understand what that wealth is, because without your health, you can't do much. You simply can't. You know, if you value business, if you're not in good shape and you're not in good health, you can't run an efficient business. If you want to run a stable family, or you're a passionate family person, you can't give the best to your family unless you're in good health. And I think that's something that's felt more than anything as you go through a process. If you've allowed your health to get, and it happens to all of us, if you ever allowed your health to run away from you a little bit because of whatever reasons, you know, living life can be stressful, and sometimes our health gets away a little bit. Think about, if this were to be a problem, you allowed it to be a problem, what that would feel like 3 months from now, or in 6 months from now, or in 9 months, or a year. How would that feel? How would that look? Is that something you're happy with? You know, how would your body feel? What would you be able to do? What wouldn't you be able to do? I think it's important to ask these questions, since it puts some frame on things. It puts some... it makes it tangible. It puts some deadlines on things. It makes things feel a little bit more real, you know. And they're important questions to ask yourself. So before I go off on a tangent and anything else, your health is really your wealth, you know, and it does affect every other part of your life. All right, so have a great evening, guys.